Molweni yonke izimuntu. Okay. So today there are other patterns. Since you know, guys, we talk about issues and relationships. There's that thing of breaking up and making up, breaking up and making up. And there are people that do this thing and that can't, not sure if they can't seem to get to get rid of each other, or they've created so much dependencies between the two of them. That's what we're going to talk about today. Because sometimes people break up for years, 2 years, omnyama breaking up, babuye bayodibana again, omnye unomntana oyi-1, nomnye unomntana oyi-1, baphinde bayiqhube lento yabo, bayiqhube baphinde babreak up, and then omnye aphinde abuye nomntana baphinde balandele lo damsese leyo man. And these are actually realities that we live in, and we don't want to turn a blind eye on this. So today, I'm hoping that we're gonna speak about this one and then exhaust this topic in just 1 hour. Thank you. Baphinde babuye kaloku omnye uyahamba yokwenza umjolo business somewhere, nomnye uyakuzenzela wakhe umjolo business somewhere. But they still gravitate towards each other. And that happens. Each one of them, and sometimes when away, sometimes they're gonna san album. But what uzawuhlala angajoli okanye azigcine akakamfumana umuntu right. Omnye ajole overjole on the other side. Xa diniwe la damsesa yenza aqonda no man ubani. God can you connect nobani again. Baphinde bayiqala into yabo.
But okay, welcome back. Welcome back. This is probably episode 31. Episode 31. As I always say, we are happy to do this. It's our passion. We also thank you for the support. Those who like and subscribe to our podcast, please keep on doing that. Before we actually go further, those who are on my socials, there was an advert that I did. It's still on grassroots levels. We are planning on the 1st of December to have a sit-in with whosoever took part in the previous podcasts, and whoever is close to them, their close associates, to come and be part of this celebration of how much we have gone through the life of sagas of couplehood. That is on the 1st of December. Just this coming month. It's going to be a braai and chill. Also, if all goes well, we're hoping to do a live shoot of that particular event, beamed live on a Facebook channel, probably also on a YouTube channel. But as always, it's DJ Wicked Nomzo.
Yebo. Exciting times, Wayne. Thank you for bringing that. And I'm hoping that even that time, I don't want us to talk so much about this event as you.
Yeah, it's still on grassroots levels,
about
but
it.
I want people to, those that are listening now, to have that oomph about what is going to happen. They should keep on checking.
Yes.
Tell everybody else to like and subscribe, because that's where maybe we're going to pick some of our partners to join this event.
Correct.
It's not yet 100%, but it's on the cards.
Yeah. Thank you. I think what would be nice that day, you see, that would be an opportunity for people to interact with us and also like in real time to tell us how they may to meet the crew, meet the camera person, meet everyone, the sound guy, meet everybody that's involved, and then advise in real time and really engage in a really serious kind. It's not so much of a bribe more than it's a workshop around this while we are dining and whining and having a good time to really connect. I'm hoping, Wayne, with your permission, that day we can have an anonymous kind of write-up, tips that will be put in a box that we can read later on, so that when we come back in the new year, we come up with a whole new show that has been tailored around suggestions that come from people, and then that way we would really speak to the people, and the aesthetics of the show be about what people want to see.
Exactly.
All right, let's get on it. Break up and make up. Isn't that exhausting?
Hey, you're not like a glass. If it breaks, it cannot be made up. But within relationships, we try to.
That broken glass, you can take the pieces of that broken glass and make a very beautiful artwork that is worth more than just that glass that got broken.
It will be worth more than the glass.
The
as
artwork.
an artwork to
The
who?
artwork.
To who now? Probably to somebody else. Maybe the person who broke the glass is not a fan of art.
I get that. Okay. You have a point. You have a point.
Oh, it will be rare that after I buy my expensive glass, it's broken. Somebody says, "No, don't throw it away. I can do something different than make an art out of it." I agree.
Okay.
But I see that person still has that. But this was my glass. I don't know if you'd have bought it or it was given to them by some grandmother. It's a different thing altogether.
Yeah. Okay. Let's delve on this topic because it's actually bringing a very poetic and interesting angle.
Mm-hmm.
So Wayne, sometimes we wouldn't be where we are if it wasn't for all the scars that we have. There's a song by Ubrendi Eti. The scars I have, they are a part of who I am. Take me. That kind of vibe. So all of these breakups and all of these heartbreaks that you get, they tailor the perfection that you get to be as a person. Then maybe you're a better lover now, because you've collected all of that data, all of those of that issues from the past, from your past, that tailored who you are. So the broken, maybe a perfect glass. A perfect person needs to be at the museum so that we can all go and see that person. So same here, a perfect glass that's not broken. It needs to be put in as an ornament somewhere, maybe in the dining room or something, not to be used. The used ones, they will have a tear and wear.
Did you guys in your upbringing, Umakulu, did they have this what they call a display? Where they put some ornaments, glasses, cups.
That dog. There was that other dog.
The dog and the
Sometimes
cats.
Chick was struck with power.
And there'll be a clock anyway. But some of the cutlery and utensils that are in that little cabinet, usually they have to be taken out if kufike umfundisi or
we used to have that.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it's second Christmas only.
So these are some of the glasses we're talking about that will be in that cabinet.
Yeah.
And one day, when you take it out, then it's broken. Umakulu is not going to be happy. I mean,
yeah, of course.
Yeah. And when are you now when you're working, you try and buy another glass similar to that one. And you say, sorry, man, I brought you this glass instead. But
which is not the same. It doesn't have that sentimental value as the other one.
Yeah, you know what? That's that previous one. She was given by umlungu wake emakishini. I don't know where, some Mrs. Smith back in 1975, and who had also got it from her grandmother, who brought it from Netherlands. Then when I want to go and buy yours, got paper. I'm so correct.
Okay, let's get into the topic. So, human beings, these breakups and makeups, what makes these? What's your? Have you had relationships where it's been a roller coaster?
Oh yes. I mean, everybody who has been in the dating game, we have a topic, man, that talks about this.
Yeah, but it's different. It's very different from this one. This one is a perpetual cycle of being together and then being. Remember how we spoke about those who haven't seen that episode. Please look it up. I don't know what episode. But that episode we delve on the one person who has that ex that they are always longing to be with. They do recognize that this is ex. But now, this topic where we're breaking up and making up, it's those temporary breaks, because if you call a person an ex, they are actually an ex. But this time around, you are in a break with a person. Mm-hmm. Maybe a year's break, a 2 years break, and then you guys be together. Then what happens in that time of isolation between the two of you? So this is the thing. your ex that you've recognized as your ex, it's just that when you haven't gotten over those feelings that you had. I don't want us to talk about that as a topic because I think we've exhausted that topic there of that ex. But this time around, it's makeup and breakups. And largely, I'm suspecting that these people that are having this breakup, they know that eventually we're gonna get together. Right now, we have an unsolvable insolvency of some kind. Therefore, fuck you, Noni Ati, screw you. Then they part ways, but they get back together to be in a relationship again, round 2. Sometimes round 3.
Actually, when you sleep with somebody, not a random person,
okay,
when you tell somebody that you like each other, you love each other, and you're my soulmate, then eventually you go to bed and maybe also get to stay together and all that. There's a bond that is created in that togetherness, the period that you're going to be together. And it's not easy to break another bond. Probably that's why eventually whoever designed Umshato said, now you're going to be one person, now you're going to stay together, then eventually you're going to have kids. They mentioned something like that, my half is going to be your half, in the Zinjalo.
Yeah.
Then, unfortunately, somewhere, somehow along the line, people tend not to have differences, then they go apart. Then you try now and create that bond again with the person X, something new. It's not going to be the same. Why? Because
but why would you create a bond, another bond with the person X, while you still have unresolved issues with person Y?
So, as I said, people have differences, and at times you feel the only way to solve these differences is to go apart, which might not be the accurate move.
Yeah,
right? Because you still have a little thing for each other, but because of umsindo or probably febela and stuff like that, then somebody decides, no, I have to go my way.
Why don't you just call it a break? Why do you call it breakup? Because sometimes you're not planning to get back together with that person, but eventually.
No. When you I don't think there will be anybody who will be planning to go back to each other.
Okay.
You see, what's that? Is there something called the conscience? How does the conscience work?
A consciousness or conscience?
Conscience. The conscience, isn't it?
Conscience. No, conscience, sisazela. Consciousness is your awareness. And the subconsciousness. Subconsciousness is the awareness that is almost independent from your manipulation or your ego or your everyday life.
No, we're going too far.
Okay.
There's this term where they say there's probably a sixth sense that tells you, what you're doing is wrong.
It's your conscience. That is conscience.
So
yes.
That's where I was leading to. So, when you break up with this person that you're not supposed to be breaking up with, there's that conscience that tells you, nah, man, that's not the thing that you're supposed to be doing. Then you ignore it.
I don't think that's always the case. Yes, there are cases like that, but there are cases where, you know what, fuck this, I'm done with this relationship. No, I'm done. You're despicable. They grow apart, but the more they grow apart, and then they go on with their lives, is maybe there's some kind of emptiness that shows itself.
But don't they meet new people wherever they go?
Yes, they will meet new people. Don't you know of relationships of people that went to date other people?
No,
and
but
then they get back together.
That I know, but you mentioned whoever goes astray, then there's some emptiness in them. Why empty when you have somebody to fill in that emptiness?
Look, it's not necessarily emptiness, but it's some kind of an emotional void.
Okay.
But that emotional void, remember, each one of us is unique. If a person is dating Wayne, their relationship will be different from dating Umzo. And that has got, I'm talking about a relation. I'm not talking about sex, whether a person prefers sex Wayne over sex Kamzo. Okanye Mzo was more of a gentleman, he took care of me better than Wayne, and blah blah blah. And of which these are also intervening accessories in relationships, where a person, when they count of the things, even the most douchebaggy, jerky person has got that emotional attachment with someone, even though they are not. But I'm talking about that one. I'm not talking about what you are doing for the person. No, that's irrespective. But that thing, remember, each one of us brings up a certain flavor of Wayne. And understand? If, let's say, Natasha is dating Wayne, Natasha is bringing up a certain flavor of Wayne, an apple flavor, for an example. And now you're giving some vanilla flavor to Natasha. Now you guys break up, and then Natasha is with Mzo now.
No, she gets it.
Now all of a Sunday.
Pop flavor.
Une flavor onion. I'm invoking a flavor as well. So and then nalapha kum wenza I flavor yena prickle thorn. Prickle thorn so like ihlaba nqonda you so like digrambi because of that. So this is the thing. This is not a cut and paste kind of thing. Human relations, they are very complicated than we think. It's beyond sex. There are people, I've had situations in which you are damtiriri, is sex, we are compromised and sex, which means utando is more superior than all of the other accessories. These people that say, okay, because I got mali, therefore, and this was umtanda, okay,
then that's something else.
Don't. That is something different. I believe so. So people.
So we're saying people who go separate ways because of probably some differences, then eventually decide to come back together. In a way, what you are saying is there is true love in that.
Okay, here's the thing. There's something, the complexity of the psychology of humanity is that a human being is comprised of the body, is comprised of the mind, is comprised of the soul or the spirit or whatever the case. So there's a spiritual level or the soul level of you feeling that I'm content with being this person. But mentally, they drive you nuts. And maybe to further complicate this, they drive your body wet like rain, as you would sometimes put it in your juicy ways of describing things.
There's nothing that confuses a woman than a broke man with very good sex.
Such things. That's why I'm saying these are the complications that we are all juggling with. Now, it's always a complex issue to balance all the three levels. Because Tina, we are looking at the body level, which is just the physical level of it. And then we never really connect sometimes mentally with the person. Sometimes you connect with the person mentally and then every other thing is not working so very well. So this is the complication that happens. So I'm trying to say it's very difficult for me to say, to affirm that is true love as you are saying it. Sometimes you were connecting with this person on a mental level very well, better than you've been connected with anyone, and then you are likely to think of this beautiful phenomenon that you're experiencing as true love. But for me, I stand to be corrected by all of the other philosophers out there that a true love will be finding a perfect balance between all of these three aspects. Because initially, when you see someone, it's the eyes that see, right? And you are like, I like what I see, but you don't see the mind.
True that.
Fine, you try to get to know with the person, and you like, I think I can work with what I'm getting. Fine, you guys go on until
red flags.
Yes, the red flags, and then you ignore the red flags. You're like, no, I'm gonna dip them into a paint, and then they'll change color to be pink. And then you go on with the relationship. Then once you are in there, let's say you don't connect mentally when you see those red flags, but it gets to be complicated that conscience of yours tells you, no, I'm connecting with on the spiritual level with this person, on the soul level. I think this is the connection that I want. But unfortunately, this is not the mental interaction that I like. Okay, the body is what I want. Then what do you do in that imbalanced kind of situation? And as what further complicates this is we are made up of our upbringings. And then I asked one of the people in one of these episodes, Uguchi, okay, sometimes when we hit that level of red flags, we are like, no, I'm going to work on this. The same person, the same Natasha is looking at Wayne, is like seeing red flags also is like, I'm going to work on this. Now, what brings about the conflicts is that the two of you are trying to change each other, and you are like, she met me this way. That's a no. She knows I like partying and stuff, and I'm outgoing. I'm an outgoing person. She doesn't like this outgoing of yours. Now there are things that you are seeing that are red flags with her, and then you are trying to change her. Now she's trying to change you. That creates a conflict, and then the bomb is gonna explode.
Why are we on this talk? We are talking about this.
We are trying to justify, because you were saying it is perfect love if you guys have to be back together. I beg to differ. It may not be. It may be that that person understands you in one of these levels.
But the other thing is that we have mentioned this before, that getting somebody that you love and telling them that you love them, it's not something that anybody's taught in the African
context.
Yeah, okay, It's agreed. You, as you said, the eyes tell you, no, this is a finest chick. You approach her, you interconnect, then you tell each other, siyathandana. Then you're probably young. Maybe, or let's say you're a young man who meets a young woman. You know nothing about love. But now, I remember it was a quote that I saw on Facebook, somebody saying, yo, please don't grow up. Growing up is a trap. Why? Because I thought if I get married, I will just be having sex with my wife every day. So I need a wife. When you are 19, sex is so nice, but you don't even have the best to get it. You need to go and ask a bro to get. But now you're thinking, if I grow up, I want to work and get my own house and get my woman. Now we're having sex every day. But now, when she's in the house, it's a different ball.
Complicated. Things get complicated.
It's not sex every day. It's now a lot of all other things.
It's the reality.
And now when you start realizing, I fooled myself, and it should not even be with this person's thing. I'm about these days at 19, a girl can be staying with a guy who is 21. It's this thing of thinking, guys, say sex. Why? Let's find a one-room sister and we have it every day. Is our deeper sex?
They are misinformed.
Yeah.
They haven't thought about other aspects.
Then you decide to go to go separate ways.
Yeah.
Now that's what I will maybe term you have been schooled somehow in the Zomjol. Like it's not all about sex. It's something else different. Then you go a step further. You try something else. Probably I don't know where.
Yeah. But there's something that I want to say before you go any further, Wayne. Okay, a lot of people, they don't get into relationships with hopes of breaking up one day. When you go there, you are 100% in.
So this is what I was saying. This is what I was saying, Goody. We've got a different perspective of what it's all about. relationships, the sex and everything. When you see it from the movies and TikTok, we've got a different. But when you are in it now, then you see, this is something else different.
Yeah.
When you go in, you think, I'm going to be 100 years with this person. So how many other women have you left in the previous years and you have told each other, the first month, but if I ask you today, you probably don't even remember their sentence.
You are exactly at this point that I want us to look at. How did where does this go wrong? Because every time we start this relationship and then you become satisfied, you're like, no, I'm okay. We know the Gucci, okay. Wayne and Natasha are the in thing. Everybody knows you guys walk in the public malls holding hands. And then until when? Because this is the issue. If we are to pinpoint what's happening here, then we are likely to save a lot of relationships from breaking up there, which means that we are doing the major purpose of this podcast, where we want to educate people about ways of relating with each other.
I don't know if we are still in the path of today's episode. Today's episode is what?
Makeups and breakups.
So now you are taking us back to try and find out why initially people tell each other that they're going to be together and okay, everybody else when they want to date, unless we are that's a different ball.
Okay.
When you meet somebody and you tell them you love them, what you are saying really is I don't think there's anybody who would want to tell somebody that they love them and they want to be with them and with the mentality of somewhere on the road, we're going to have to break up. It's not like that. You are seeing a person, you love the person, and you see future on the person.
Till when? Because this is going to tap into, I know that it sounds a bit off topic, but it's going to answer why are there breakups from the start.
It's a lot, man. It's a lot. It's a lot. It could be it's more than 100 reasons.
Okay.
You find probably when you go into the relationship, the sex is not what you expected. You go into the relationship, maybe the mother of this person doesn't like you.
But sex you do it early, you can see, no, okay, I'm not satisfied there. Are you sitting there to make up for it, or things
maybe the money is good?
From whose side?
From the guy's side, or I don't know, even from the woman's side.
The guy for staying, there must be something that he likes.
Maybe he feels the sex is good, and the woman thinks the money is fine.
Okay.
Then, they stay around. Then eventually maybe the chick at some point probably tries and finds better sex elsewhere. Then it's discovered that we are Chitela. Then boom. Then, there's a lot of things that will make people have to break up. But now, today we are now trying to find out why now this person who decided at some point that they are going to go away, they want to come back.
Yeah, okay. All right, Wayne, remind me before we close this session, I want to say something about something that is called satisfaction. Because my mind now, it clicks. There is something about satisfaction that needs to be said, that people need to channel themselves and their mind into. But remind me, I'm not going to say that now. You are diving into the makeups and breakups. Okay, let me allow you to do that.
Will it ever work when somebody breaks up, or when people decide to break up and they make up? Is it going to be the same? Will it be the same? Like from day one when we met up, now we've decided to go separate ways, then we make up. Do you think it's going to be the same?
Well, let me take it back. Let me take it back to that story that you like so much. It is one of the deepest phenomena of humanity, where a person takes his wife back after the wife had left the home for 2 years. But now what exacerbates things or makes things really awkward is that that guy welcomed his wife with open arms. Then how does that happen? And now you are asking me, Uti, will it ever work? But what is going on in this man's mind that he accepts his wife coming back with a child after 2 years?
So could you please put that in English? This story again.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For the benefits. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get carried along. There is this uncle of mine who has a wife, but now for some reason with the wife they broke up. The woman, they were, I don't know, some quarrel broke in the house, and then that woman decided, you know what? Fine, I'm leaving. She left. She left the guy. The guy went on looking for the wife, not finding the wife for 2 years.
There was no
and he had given up after 2 years later when the wife came back to say, I'm married to so and so 2 years later, and then the wife was coming back with a child, a very small child, an infant, a very small
6 months old child,
less than 6 months, a very tiny infant.
Then she said,
She's
"Baby,
like,
I'm back."
She comes to the house.
Oh, Tata.
Baby, I'm back. And then it's like, where have you been, my wife? Oh my God! What is this you've got in your hands?
Oh, beautiful!
I know it. Okay, fine. We are laughing at this, but it's not a funny situation. But the psyche behind this whole thing, this man that allows his wife in that condition, he probably knows something that we don't know. Me, especially me and you, Wayne, we are not married. Then that guy knows something that we don't know.
We need him on the podcast.
But the issue is, people around the village were talking to say, how can this guy be so foolish? Oh, come on. What are they going to say? What is he going to call? That child is going to grow there with him. He's going to call him daddy. And yet he knows that he's not the father. Such things. And then what may exacerbate things is that he will have kids with his wife after the wife went off to Palapala, and came back with a child.
But if you look at him, so the man just loves his woman. It should be fine, man. You guys are just, because let's not run away from the fact that we're 2 years. We admit this woman was having sex wherever she was.
Of course, she brought an award, for having it.
So now you guys, your only problem is now she brought a child. If she had not brought a child, then it was going to be fine.
That's true. You got a point.
The guy still loves his woman. We only have a problem. So sitting in Simbula, I mean, if she had brought 10 cows, like, maybe where I'd gone there, I don't know.
I went farming.
Yeah, I went farming. Then, you know what? Sorry, man, I didn't really put it across to you to what was happening, but it was a moment of madness. But I brought some 10 cows here.
Okay. Yeah, maybe this one may be different. It's not like a makeup and break. It is a makeup and breakup, a typical example of what we're talking about. But it might be different that this one has families involved, has a lobola, cows being paid to the woman's family. So it was actually formalized. So how can we speak about this context in a context that is broad enough to allow these informal relationships that are a pandemic in our age?
Yes, there's a story that just came up to my mind now. You know Oliver Mtukudzi?
Yes.
Oliver Mtukudzi passed away probably 2018, I think. And he built an empire where music students have to go there and be recorded and all that. And I think every year, I'm not sure, this particular year, there was a commemoration of his death, and they called various artists from all over the world and his friends to come and perform at that place. He has 2 daughters. His firstborn daughters, they're both artists, but they were not invited to be part of that commemoration. Why? Because when the time of Oliver Mtukudzi's passing, he had left their mother. He was with a new wife, with their stepmother.
Okay.
And news filtering in is that at the time of Oliver's death, the kids and Oliver's new family, they were not in very good talking terms. The relations were a bit sour. But it seems as if it was caused by this new wife. But people had to come up with the Twitter thing and say, but why were the daughters not called? And then it went on to 1,000, 1 million views. And then eventually, Daisy, who is Oliver Mtukudzi's current wife, or who was her current wife, his current wife, eventually invited those daughters to come and perform. When the daughters came on stage, I don't know what number they were to perform on stage, she did the first song. She went in just about a minute. Then she changed. She stopped singing and she started telling people, no, guys, you know what? Things that have been happening in this family are not on. My father wouldn't have loved this to happen on stage now. My father wouldn't have loved. You can go and check this on YouTube. It's there. My father wouldn't have loved things to happen this way. But there are certain people who want to take power from us. That I started talking. And people are like, come on, you're supposed to be singing. Then she threw the mic down. She walked away and she started crying. Then some guy with a podcast invited her to a podcast and interviewed her. What happened? Now she started talking how bad things were with the stepmother. Now it got to be revealed now that these two sisters who are performing were supposed to be. We thought it was first and second born of Oliver. Okay. Oliver had a firstborn. I don't know who is called Sandra or something.
Outside of wedlock.
No. Okay. He married a woman.
Okay.
And a firstborn. As a guy who was in the showbiz, he met this other woman and had a child with a woman while he has a woman at home. Then, jiggy, he went back to that woman that he'd married and had a third born. Then, when he did now, Tony, that time now, he's prominent. He's got 2 kids who are the same age. This one is from another woman. I don't know from where. And this one is from the woman that was supposed to be his wife. He's got 4 kids. This one from a marriage, first marriage. This one from some girlfriend. This one from this woman. Then he leaves this woman. He marries this woman. Then he has a second born with this one here. Another second child. But at the same time, same year, he has another child with some other woman. So, but still, he came back and he still married this woman. So, I don't know, come back, what we're talking about. But you see, people are saying this particular woman now, who was now eventually his wife, Oliver was rich. So the coming back and forth with that woman is probably just because she wanted that mullah there. Because now, after Oliver's death, now she doesn't want to hear anything about anybody's, about all the other kids.
Okay.
Took everything and grabbed everything. Belongs to her now. So people might go back and forth for these relationships for wrong reasons.
True. I agree.
So how many people have gone to your messenger inbox and say, you are people that you had things 10 years ago and now they see a different result, then they want to be back. But it's not healthy. There's some wish from now on my side.
No, but it's what I see as difficult is to filter out who's coming for what. This is the difficulty with humanity. There were times when it was difficult for you, Wayne, to secure a relationship because you couldn't financially provide for even yourself. In that period, it was difficult to find love. So now, how can you filter out now that you've got money, that whatever that you find in the name of love is really love?
Yeah, that's a true one. It's a true one. Because, but I wonder when I'm so, I will also blame Amachita again, as I always do. Why? Because probably the women that they are with today, they could have not been dating them if they were jobless.
I agree.
You mentioned it, or somebody mentioned it, I don't know where.
I agree.
But the time they were jobless, there are certain women that could have dated, and things could have been normal.
Yeah.
Buy cabbage, fry it, and cook pap and eat. There could have been a woman who could have understood that. I'm not sure, but somebody was telling me at some point.
But the blind spot about that is that there are those that may see your potential.
Then they stick around.
Then you can easily mistake that one as a person who was there when you were down and out. But they knew that I can see this guy's vision. Let me stick around. This guy's gonna pop at some point. So this is the thing about humanity. I know some of these memes that I've seen. A person was saying immediately. I don't know if it was a guy who was saying immediately, I pop, okay, I win lotto or something. I've got money. I'm just gonna go home and sleep in the bed and pretend to be sick. This gagele, and pretend to be sick and just see that the person that's next to me, how long she's gonna cope. I'm gonna do that for the whole entire week, just to see if she sticks around. On this and then just pretend and see now she sees no, you know what? This is not what I was here for. Fuck you, you see yourself, you are disgusting. Then I'll know no, this thing that I'm sitting with here.
Well, so if you go and try and do those tricks now, they'll all go, bruh.
That's fine. Then you know that you're dealing with a person or not. Sometimes you may get an accident or be sick or you are wheelchair bound, and then that person's gonna leave. When things is a fair weather, this is a fair weather relationship. Or when things are all fair, then the relationship is fine. Otherwise, if the weather changes, then fuck, there's no love.
Was it you who sent me a video? It was in Facebook link where some fine chick was dancing with a guy in a house, but the guy didn't have a hand.
Didn't have one hand, yeah. You see, sir, these are fair weather friends. These are fair weather people that see. I don't know where I said this. It might have been one of these podcasts. Sometimes people relate differently depending on where they put you, they rank you as. If somebody gets into your workplace, they see you walking around like a manager, you will see how much respect they have for you and how they approach you. But should they know that I'm Zoe's just a scullery there in the kitchen and stuff, and then they're like, you see the respect, they throw hands and they speak at you. You understand that this is the complication of modern culture, of modern society, where we see people by the size of their pocket. And then it makes it difficult for us to find love now, or to filter out what is real love and what is not real love.
I think we're not doing justice to the topic. We're beating about the bush, because today we're trying to talk about
makeups and breakups.
We haven't really talked about.
All right, let's just
we keep on trying and understand why should people break up and Okay. There are people dating or people married, whatever, people together, then they decide to break up. Then eventually they decide we want to come back together after whatever 2 years. Are things going to be the same? Did you answer me?
I did.
Would you advise people to do that?
I tried to be philosophical about it, but it was not working. It took us on a tangent.
Now, my own thinking, my shallow thinking is that things will never be the same.
Can they be better than they
were? No, it'll be worse. It'll be worse. Why? Because, or maybe we have to determine, about how did these people split? Imagine if your woman maybe cheated.
No. What if it was your drinking, Wayne? Your excessive drinking, and now you no longer drink. Now you don't no longer drink. So things can be better.
Okay, but now, so when you split ways, this person had a different taste of different life from what they were used to with you.
Yeah.
Probably when you try and come back together, she has a different password on her phone. Let's just talk of a different password on her phone. This is now 2 years later. She's got a different Samsung.
No.
Yeah.
You know the way you are thinking about this. You are thinking about it with so much of a masculine perspective way, because a man, I'm going to say it, guys. I'm not going to beat about the bush. A man, once you break up with a woman, we feel like that woman goes on with her life, and then other men have got access to her. Then you feel like, wait, yes, whether it's true or not, you feel like something is being taken away from her if other men sleep with her. But now, if you are sleeping with other women as a man, you feel like you're still as intact as you were before. This is the phenomenon and the fallacy that creates this ego in men that no. And I'm sure a lot of men that have broken up with women, the mere reason, it doesn't matter how much love they had for those women. It's just that their ego does not allow them to be secondary in the women that they claim to be loved. This, which means that the love they have is conditional, whether you've slept with someone or not. Which makes sense why it's not easy for men to give up, to forgive their woman if they have slept with so and so. They even make jokes now on social media to say, remember, guy, she looked like this when she was giving it to him like this. Before you forgive her, you see, there's that bubble that needs to be burst, that guys are living at, which makes this kind of topic of makeup and breakup be not to be balanced when it's spoken by two guys, because we are operating from the same kind of perspective, we're shooting from the same cannon. You understand? Because remember, look, there's a woman out there that you may have loved in your past, but now the only stumbling block, the only firewall that is blocking you from getting back to her is the fact that we are kiwa someone. Otherwise, you loved everything about her, but now someone, as if there's a value that has been she's been devalued or.
I can tell women. I think I've said it even before. If for some reason you are with your loved one, Yatandana, everything is fine, then I don't know what would have happened. Then somebody gets access to you and sleeps with you. Your man discovers that. Then you talk and you say, sorry, baby, forgive each other. That's a lie. Umchita, when he says he has forgiven you and says, must go back with your life, he's lying to you.
So this means that your answer to your question is things can be the same. The problem is the guy.
But now, would you advise people who will maybe say, come to you and say, but this is the situation we have.
Thank you.
And we are trying to do a BCB, maybe come back and be together, but my woman had gone. And you probably met her at Rand some other time with some guys in Ari. These are my colleagues and all that. But after some time, then she said she want to come back. Would you advise?
And sometimes from the green and white flag.
Hey, man, this guy.
Okay.
And for some reason, one of the days you try to call her and she says, no, baby, not baby. Sorry, I can't hear you. Please send a message and you can hear it. She's having fun, bro.
She's a heavy breather on the phone. Okay, but wait. Do you want me to answer that? We're running out of time. We wanted this to be just an hour. So let me answer this one and bind all of everything that we spoke about, because now we now sort of agree that the issue is the ego of the guy that will be a stumbling block in terms of these people getting together, right?
Yeah, but are you saying when as much as you say the guy that is true, but my worry is, are you saying it's only the guy? See, when she comes back, she's clear conscience, she's fine.
No. She may not be fine, but now remember, okay, here's where we start. You guys rise one morning, she's rising from a Kailicha, you are rising from a Bella, thinking, no man, I must reconnect with Wayne. Now I must reconnect with Natasha. Then you guys, hey, how you kind of vibe. And you on your side, you are like, you know what? I was actually thinking about you. Yeah, we should go out for some drinks sometime. What do you do nowadays? No. I like indoors and blah blah blah. There's this nice restaurant, but it eventually gets to that meeting. Women, what I've noticed, I could be wrong. What I've noticed is that women tend to look in your life and see what complications can there be in you guys igniting that relationship again. For example, ever since we broke up 3 years ago, I have a kid. So now I have a baby mama drama, which I didn't have at the time. And then she might want to ascertain the impact of that in this new thing that you guys might be starting. Otherwise, other than that, whether you fucked so many girls, 100 girls in her absence, women don't generally stress that much about that one. It's you guys who even
that is true.
Who even gets
that is true.
Even if she got just fucked by just one guy, or maybe there was a guy a bit serious now after you. Maybe she didn't go around sleeping around, but after the breakup with you, she was with just one guy.
That is true. A woman, even if she discovers that you've slept with somebody, she might be mad and all that, but you can say sorry, baby, and buy her flowers and take her to a trip. Yeah, man. She might forgive you, though. At times, I saw this. There was a tweet where they were talking about, hey, she will forgive you, but then now, if there's an episode on TV which is talking about the same scenario,
forgive, you never forget.
Then she will start. Yeah. What's the dog famous on an impact? But anyway. But she won't. I mean, she will forgive you, but she'll throw some comments here and there, man. That will tell you, nah, here I'm not 100% forgiven.
Yeah. Okay. Look, I've been beating about the bush for quite a long time. You've been asking this. I'm not really a person who is more inclined into breakups and makeups. If there's a breakup, it must just be a breakup. There must not be makeups. My reasons. I'm leaning towards no makeups after breakups.
But so before you proceed,
okay,
don't you think it would be a good thing, probably, if these people decided to break up and they had 2 kids, for the benefit of the kids, to grow up with both parents present?
No, but you cannot be in a toxic situation.
No, why should you say it's toxic?
No. If amicably you guys agree that no, we are water and oil, the two of us, we don't mix. Therefore, you are going to create a toxic environment for the kids because you are just co-parenting now. We are not being together. And remember, you cannot be together with someone just for the sake of the kids. What the kids will grow up and be 19 and go to college and never come back and be 21 and start their own families, when you are going to be stuck with something that you compromised for the sake of the kids. And number 2, you might be setting bad examples to the kids if there is no love in the house.
Yeah. Then proceed.
Yeah. So I wanted to say that I'm leaning towards more of no makeups after breakups, because it's even toxic. You even break up with the person twice. No. You guys are not good to be together. You guys are refusing to grow, because whatever. Don't go and make and do your homework with loving somebody else. You broke up with Natasha. Now you are busy with zooking up, and then while you are with Zuki, you are like, yeah, I can. Zuki highlights all of the good things about Natasha. Hey, Natasha was better because she would do this, she would cook, she would clean the house, she would do that, and whatnot. Now you are using another kid as a guinea pig for your own personal interest. So it's all about you now. You understand? People are selfish, naturally so. But when we grow up, we need to realize that people are selfish, so that we become less selfish ourselves. and create a less selfish environment. I understand kids are very selfish. Even with their mother, even with their toys, even with their thing, into yak. But as an adult, you need to learn from it, and when you grow up and ask yourself, okay, fine, I cannot own another human being. I can be in a relationship with a human being. I don't own them.
But I don't dispute that when I'm so. If truth be told, I have been in a breakup and makeup, which was about probably 3-4 times. But by the end of the day, I just sit down and said, man, I don't know what you'll be trying. Like, I agree with you, Futi, when you say most of the blame should be with the guys. You know why? Because you sit down and think, hey, that sex that I used to get, some other nigga is getting it. And you want to protect your interests.
That is still being selfish. Yeah. In the line of being selfish, still.
And half the time, even when you try and lie to yourself that you want to have talking terms, some talk, some smoking of some peace pipe with this, that this person would have gone away. It's you just trying to protect your interest and have it back in your hands so that you can have some form of control. But you are actually having your interest elsewhere.
Yeah, true.
Because you're an adult. Maybe for the past year or 6 months, you've now started a different life with different people. But and you decide, now, let me have this one back. But you'll be like,
but yeah. Can I mention something about when you say that? Oh, it's a very important point. Did you know that when after a breakup, each one of the people that are breaking up, they wish bad for each other. Mm-hmm. They don't wish well for their future.
That's when you see the post on social media.
Yeah, you don't wish that your partner can get a better partner than you. Even if you may be diplomatic and try to think that, no, I'm not a bitter person. I'm the Lord's person. Jesus knows me. Deep down, the human ego and the nature of humanity is that, okay, I was the best person for you, and that way you are still stuck on being correct. But if you can find a way of embracing your wrongness, each one of us embrace their wrongness, we are less likely to wish bad for the other people. What if when they break up with you, they find somebody even way better than you? Have you considered that possibility?
So I was talking to a colleague just yesterday. He was, man, I'm worried if I'm making this story. If he watches this, he might know. Let me try and put it. If he watches this, he will know I'm talking about him. How can I put it? But he was staying in Durban, then he met a Zulu woman, then they were good. But you see, he was making a lot of money. You know, that era where you are a 25-year-old and you're making money. But he says they were making deals at work and making a lot of money. And he had this woman. You know, when there's money and life is fine, you're staying in an expensive flat. He probably bought a little car and everything was fine. He lost his job. He went to prison. And things got bad. Then bail, then he came out. He was at his lowest now. Then they had to rely on the woman's money. And in your mentality, you think things are still the same as a man. Not really the same, but you would think, man, I've done ABC for the woman. She should understand that I'm the same guy. But I don't think women think like that. Because that security that you were having for them is now washed away, because now you're just a useless broke nigger. Then she'll try and get fun elsewhere. West Dad doesn't drink, the woman drinks. When I saw in her errands, wherever she was going, she started cheating. She started cheating. It's so painful when you're sitting at home and you're trying to make ends meet, and your woman is the one who's fending for the family. And when you got no say, as when you don't work, you don't really have a say. You don't have, you are down and low. You don't, your voice is really not the engenamali alivagala.
Watch not.
It's very true. Is really not the engenamali alivagala. How do you put that in English?
Yeah, a voice of a person who doesn't have money is not audible.
Yeah, it's a weak voice.
It's a weak voice. It doesn't. So, but there is an idiom about this. But I forgot what
the woman started cheating. You know that. And she eventually left the woman. Well, then the child. Then she took the child. He took the child. Then moved over to here. But now he was telling me, I'll never forgive that woman. I'll never, because that was so painful that I could see she would do this in front of me. But I'm happy now. I've got you got a new woman.
Well,
He's paying.
Well. The happiness sometimes could be a consolation that you get to yourself. This is where I wanted to speak about satisfaction. And I know we are out of time, Wayne, but can I really quickly speak on this one, unless you want to elaborate?
I want to finish this story actually. But now he says he's happy and all that. He just recently paid lobola for the new woman that he has. They're gonna have a kid, But he married a woman now who has 3 kids of her own. I'm not saying there's anything bad about having a woman who has a child. But now, get this balance. You left a woman that you had your child with, just that one child that they had. It was the first child for the woman, it was the first child for you.
Get you?
For some reasons, it couldn't work. You lost your job, life was not good. Then this one cheated, then fuck you, she left. But now she has found comfort elsewhere, which is his new marriage that he has today. With a woman who, well, I don't know, for some reason, unfortunately, I think she's also from a marriage, but she got 3 kids. So you see, this thing of breaking up and making up, you leave wherever that you thought things were bad. I think he's destined for worse.
No. When you are looking at, no, you don't know. That guy knows something that you and I don't know about this new relationship. And the unfortunate part is that we as people, we are.
So I'm trying to say, can't he just go back and try and fix that relationship? Maybe.
I get your point, but there's a thin line between love and hate. That thin line means that once you do something to a person, your family hates you the most when they do things that disappoint you. But whereas a person who's too far from you, if they disappoint you, so be it. But the person whom you have opened your heart, and then once you've opened that heart, and then they do something despicable that you deem as despicable, or maybe they are like you're like, because of all of that love and all of that investment, that emotional investment you had in there, then it quickly turns to hate. It's a spectrum. There's love, there's hate. So somewhere now, there's a very thin line in between there. So also, what brings about that hate is the amount of love that you had for the person. The higher the love you had for the person, is the deeper the hate you will have for them.
I got you.
But there's a point that I forgot to say something, but because it went off my mind, I wanted to say it before. Around this, the one thing about humanity is that, oh yes, there it comes. We want to understand the people that we love, and that comes at an opportunity cost of understanding ourselves. And we look at things that we like and we don't like from other people. Therefore, it means that we have expectation, but we fail to manage the expectations within the self.
No, I lost you there.
that means that whoever is listening is also lost. Look, Wayne, we look for perfection in people and never the other way around. This is what I'm trying to say. If perfection means not cheating, not doing this, not doing that, each one of us subjectively has their own thing that they call perception. But we want to understand other people. The point that I'm trying to say is we want to understand other people more than ourselves. We look at perfection from other people and then try to nudge them into a certain direction that we feel like we've convinced ourselves as a way of how they could be perfect. So she must be perfect for who? For you. Are you perfect for yourself, Wena?
So basically what you're saying is this happens both ways.
She
has that thought. She has the same mentality.
The thing is, exactly, she has that. Both of you have this mentality of the expectation from the other person. But if you were to shift the expectation to be from the self, what I expect for you as a lover should come from me. It should not come from me. Then I only have myself to disappoint. Whatever you do, Wena, as my partner, it will not disappoint me more than I had already disappointed myself by being with you. It's a very difficult to digest, but let's talk about satisfaction. I wanted, in just briefly, just 1 minute. Satisfaction. The derivation of satisfaction is almost in line with what I just spoke about. We want to be satisfied by the other person. How do they satisfy ourselves? They must do the things that pleases us. How do they know the things that please us?
That's a good one,
So we must nudge them along, suggest them along, and if it's from the woman's side, women always assume that a man is going to, he should understand, he should know my favorite colors, he should do this, he knows what I don't like. If when you seem to get confused, she mistakes that as lack of love for themselves. So the satisfaction, satisfy yourself. How do you satisfy yourself? Just understand humanity and their failures. Your eyes are looking that way. They are not looking inside. Inside, you have a feeling. Your eyes you should find an ability for your eyes to look at your feelings so that you don't get disappointed by what you see. But right now, I'm failing to find good words.
Brother Enigma, you need some more wine. Brother Enigma.
I'm failing to find good words today, but if people want, I think I'll write this on the comments of this. I'll write something on the comments to explain what I'm trying to say, because now the words are failing me. Remember, I'm a child who took too long to talk. Maybe I started talking at the age of 5 or something.
Or take a camera alone and do a clip.
No, I won't do it. I won't do it.
This is today.
Let's cut it. Let's cut it. Okay, guys. It was a difficult one.
You've summarized. You're done. You're good.
I'm done.
You're good. Okay, but people don't forget. Man, I'm so interested in this 1st of December thing, but it's still a build-up. We are not 100% sure about it. But we'll definitely let people know. It's a lot that we are planning, man, with Sagas of Couplehood, but we'll advise you as we progress. Today it was makeup or breakup, makeup and breakup with the Sagas of Couplehood. It was another saga. This week, another week, it's going to be another saga. Thank you so much for taking time to listen to this podcast. It's always, as usual, DJ Wicked Nomzo. Bye-bye.